Whether you call it football, or soccer, it is one of the most popular sports in the world. Whether you're cheering on your club team or your country, it is one of the few sports where rules and regulations stay the same for males and females. However, it is easy to see that the pace and speed of the game is what differs from men and women. So what physical restrictions restrict women from playing at a fast pace like men? And do these restrictions place them at a higher risk of injury? If you still don't think soccer is the most popular sport in the world, why don't you ask these commentators? Now that we got that all cleared up, according to the Huxton Clinic, women are 6 to 8 times more likely to sustain an ACL injury than men. It is right here where the athlete stops, plants her foot, and changes direction drastically, where the ACL is in high risk of injury. Although male and female athletes are able to cut hard and change direction fast and drastically in soccer, how is it that women are more likely to sustain an ACL injury as opposed to men? Here's a picture of a female's knee. On the right, you'll see a blue upside-down U-shaped figure, which is the femur, and in the space of the U, you will see the ACL, which is tucked in the intercondylar notch. This next picture shows a male's femur on the left and a female's femur on the right. The main difference between the two is the male's femur has a wider intercondylar notch than women, which allows more room for the ACL to move as opposed to women who have a more narrow intercondylar notch. This gives male athletes an advantage as they are enabled more freedom to cut harder and place more weight on their knee as opposed to women. The male athlete in the video is allowed to stop harder, change direction a lot quicker, and push off harder without a large risk of injury to the ACL as opposed to women. Knee alignment in women make them more prone to ACL injuries as well. As the femur meets the tibia, it creates an angle called the quadriceps, or Q angle. This Q angle is heavily dependent on the width of the pelvis. Women tend to have a wider pelvis than men. As you can see by the image, the Q angle is greater in women than in men. Men have a 12-degree Q angle and women have a 16-degree Q angle. A larger Q angle increases the amount of force placed on the ACL each time the knee twists, increasing the risk of an ACL tear. Hormones have been discovered to have an influence on the strength of the ACL as well. Estrogen and progesterone receptor sites were found in female athletes' ACL cells in a study conducted in 1996. Since then, researchers have determined that female sex hormones can influence the flexibility of muscles and tendons surrounding the knee. The looseness or flexibility of these muscles does not prevent ACL injuries in a woman's knee, however can further cause ACL injuries. This looseness can cause ligaments around the knee to loosen to a point where they cannot absorb the stress placed upon them, transferring all the energy to the ACL, causing rupture. Women athletes also seem less able to tighten their thigh muscles to the same degree as men. This results in women not being able to plant or get their knees to hold as steady, which may give them less knee protection during physical activity, such as cutting in certain directions or landing from a header like in soccer. Further exams also demonstrate that a woman's quadriceps and hamstring muscles work differently than men's. Women's muscles on the front of their thigh work extra hard during knee bending activities, which pulls the tibia forward, placing the ACL at a risk of a tear. If you go to the FIFA website, you will find a program called FIFA 11 Plus. This is a program which contains a pre-game warm-up, which is designed to prevent injuries. This program was designed by the FIFA medical staff and research team and is highly encouraged to do before a game.